Alright guys, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again, and we've got a couple videos coming up. One is going to be actually a new rotation, not a new rotation, but kind of like a min-maxer's Daggerspell guide that I'm probably going to be putting out. It's going to be really short, it's going to be like 2 or 3 minutes of tips. But what I want to talk about here is a huge fucking misconception that seems to have stemmed from one of my previous videos, or just, I guess, misinformation that people have been spreading for some unknown reason, because that's what people on the internet do. And that is going to be me addressing the fact that some players seem to think that dagger spells are a one-hit wonder build, and if they miss their combo, they're done. And on top of that, they seem to think that dagger spells are complete garbage for group and raid PvP. So, I'm going to go ahead and fix that for you guys and explain to you guys why they're actually very good for group PvP. So, let's start with the first thing. In terms of AoEs, well, you're a sorcerer. That means you have AoE. Because you have sorcerer in your build, you can already synergize with people in AoE. You have meteor. Your magic circle will work for anybody that steps on it. You have chain lightning. You also have freezing earth. And even your arc lightning will apply a debuff to people that come in range. So, just that alone, you have 3 AoEs, not including magic circle. Let's go to witchcraft. You have an AoE fear that goes into a stun. Dahuda's Breath, which is an AoE knockback. Because it's a knockback, it's an interrupt, which chains off of lightning damage, which lightning damage would be instacast on chain lightning. And for the people who say, since your AoEs are short range, you can't properly execute them, well, sir, we can spec 1 point into Shadow Step if we need to move a point around. That gives us a 20-meter gap close. We can gap close 20 meters in, pop an AoE fear, pop freezing earth, chain lightning into Dahuda's Breath while the fear is still on. There's a lot of stuff to be done there. Now, for people who are going to say, you shouldn't be initiating, well, no shit, it's not my job to initiate. But sometimes in life, you have to make do with what you have. Just say we don't have a Skull Knight to go in and pull everyone in. You know, so we have to do it ourselves. That's fine, we'll just go in, initiate. If our Shadow Step resets, we can just Shadow Step right back to where we came from. Look at that. So now we can Shadow Step in, fear 5 people, freezing earth, chain lightning, Dahuda's Breath, and we have a 50% chance that the Shadow Step is going to reset, and we can just shoot right back to our ally. Look at that. How cool is that? The other thing is, fear breaking is not as common as you would think that a lot of other classes would have. Fear breaking is something that's usually overlooked, and it's, like I said, there's not a lot of classes that have a fear break. Also, with fear break, you have the immunity, courageous action. This is a 9-second cooldown buff that lasts for 1 minute, meaning you could have it on 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. Anywhere between 5 to 6 people, you could have courageous action at once. That's pretty much your whole party. Also, in group PvP, you can CC people. You can spec 1 point into Earth and Grip, which is about a 10-second root on someone in PvP. You could bubble trap someone, which is like, I think 11 seconds or something. 10 to 11 seconds. That's 2 CCs. You have Lassitude, which is a 9-second sleep as well, which is right over here. And then for the people who say, well, in raids, that's not going to happen, that's perfectly fine. I've already stated what you can do for raids. And for people who say, when you're in a party, people will break your CC, you are playing with the wrong type of people then, sir. Because if you want organized PvP, you should be on Mumble, you should be on voice chat, you should be communicating, players should understand what you're doing, and that's why Witchcraft is so good. Because it brings you initiation power paired with Shadow Play if you need it. It brings you the defensive mechanics of buffing your whole team as well with magic defense. Forgot about that with Purge. If you really need to, like, you could play defensive and you could, like I said, purge off debuffs. You could play defensive and drop your magic circle for players. You could play defensive and sit there and wait for people to jump in, immediately pop a fear, Insidious Whisper on them, root them, bubble trap other people. There's really so much you can do. So I honestly don't understand where this thing stemmed from of, this build is not good for raids in group PvP. You should pick Oromancy instead of this or that. Like, every build has its like, I don't know the word for it. Like, every build excels in certain areas. It just so happens that Witchcraft, in my opinion, is good overall. Also, with the survivability you get with mitigation, if you're getting focused by a shit ton of people, you're most likely going to get crit by something. Whether it be Endless Arrows or Mana Stars, and when that crits, you now take 30% reduced damage from all damage sources. Sorry, I guess not. Yeah, melee or range critical hit. There you go. 30% reduced damage. That's stupid. Like, that's a lot of mitigation you just got. You're essentially like a tank now with that buff on. And if you have people focusing you, that's going to stay on permanently. It's going to be on forever. And it will not fall off. It's going to be happy. Mitigation will stay there. So, like I said, that was that. And as for the one-hit wonder, this explained it in my other video, but I guess some people just didn't watch the whole video. So your standard combo would be Banshee's Wail into Lassitude, into Innervate, because it would combo off the Fear, into Circle, into Nadachi Swap, into Meteor, and then from the Meteor you have whatever you'd like. From Meteor you could go into Frozen Earth, you could go into Boom, Triple Fireball with Nadachi. Speaking of Triple Fireball, I didn't realize there was actually a guy there for me to Fireball, but sure, we'll go with that. I was not expecting that to happen. That was, honestly can't say, like, that was the best timing I've ever seen in my life, and then I fucked it up because of... Anyway, that was really weird. I'm sorry, I didn't expect to actually see someone pop as I was doing Triple Fireball. So that was a little distracting. Well then, sorry, what else was I gonna say? Also, on top of that, you have, like, Insidious Whisper into Arc Lightning, you have Bubble Trap, and as the Bubble Trap is flying, you could Chain Lightning, so it gets the Bubble combo, then you could Arc Lightning from there, you can combo with as the Bubble is falling, you could Meteor, so right as they hit the ground, the Meteor slaps them. There's literally so many different combos you can do, so you're not a one-hit wonder whatsoever. But, like I said, I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same footing here. If you guys have any questions, of course, please feel free to let me know. Now, one thing to comment on is I would love to produce guides for you guys of all the classes and whatnot, but I'm an honest man. I'm not going to give you guys misinformation about stuff. I don't know how to play a Dark Runner to the extent I can play a Daggerspell. You know, I don't know how to play a Spell Singer. Like, at the moments, Daggerspell is what I've been maining in, and this is, like, I've been playing this class for about 2 weeks now, and I believe I've gotten a lot of information about it from, you know, like not research, but just me playing the class itself, and I've done so much with it. And that's why I felt it was appropriate for me to release a guide, because I feel that I can, you know, I'm a knowledgeable source for Dagger spells. Other builds, as I've stated, if I don't have the knowledge that I have, that at least I would like to have, I don't want to release it and give you guys misinformation. And I'm not here to do that at all. I'm here to correct misinformation. But nonetheless, like I said, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Hope this enlightens some of you guys. Please don't be narrow-minded about things. If you guys want to voice your opinion, feel free to. But don't just discriminate to discriminate because you don't get anywhere with it. Like I said, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.